Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope this audio is better for you guys. I went and picked up a microphone for the GoPro, so I guess we'll just have to see how it works out. But in today's tackle talk, I want to discuss a lure category within a lure category. Now I know that probably sounds kind of ridiculous, but when you look at shallow diving square bill crankbaits, man, you can jump down such a rabbit hole. There are 1,000 different manufacturers out there. There are 1,000 different bait body styles, just 1,000 different materials that the bait can be made out of. Just a ton of information out there about square bill crankbaits. But I'm not talking about any of that today. I just want to talk about a little niche category in your square bill fishing that not a lot of guys throw anymore, and it definitely has its time and place. With that said, the style of square bill or just shallow running crankbait that I'm talking about is your 0 to 2 or your 0 to 3 foot diving skinny water crankbaits. Now, the two times of the year that I really see that this bait shines is in the spring and in the fall. Now, in the spring, it's no secret, everybody throws a crankbait for your pre-spawn fish. However, I like to target later into the pre-spawn, right when those fish are about to pull up and spawn, but they're on that last staging area, that last dock, that last lay down, the last section of riprap, moving into the back of a pocket. When they're on that last staging area, that is when this bait really shines for me. Awesome killer bait in the spring. As far as the fall goes, this is a great bait in the fall when bass are corralling your bait fish and your bluegill or whatever you have up shallow, pushing them against the bank, feeding to get ready for winter. Just a phenomenal bait in the sense that everybody's throwing your spinner bait to mimic your shad. Everybody's throwing your chatter bait to mimic your shad or bluegill. Everybody's throwing your buzz bait up there on your mud flats. This is just something different that not a lot of guys throw anymore because they'll try to throw a regular square bill, get discouraged because it's bogging up in everything when you're fishing it in that much water. This is an effective tool for doing that and showing fish a presentation in these locations that they don't necessarily see all that much. So those are the two times of the year that I really like to throw these baits. Now with that said, there are 3 baits I'm going to talk about that are fantastic options, and first being the Man's Baby Minus 1. It's a crankbait that dives 1.5 to about 1 foot. I mean, man, for you old school guys, you know how crazy awesome this bait is. Good wobble, just an aggressive crankbait that draws a lot of bites, but not a big profile. They make this in a couple bigger sizes. This is just your standard size, but a phenomenal bait. I have seen giant bass caught on this bait. I mean, I think my buddy Devin Fees probably caught like a 7 or maybe even an 8. It was a giant in an Illinois pond up here when we were like, I don't even know, we had to be like 14 or something. But that bait, awesome crankbait for getting bites in your super skinny water. The second one here is one that I started playing with this past season, and it was awesome, and that is the Bill Lowen Ima square bill. This thing is a bite getter. For those of you who know Bill Lowen, you know that he fished the Ohio River a majority of his life, and chances are if you got 5 fish there, you're doing pretty good. So with that said, he designed this bait just to be a subtle bite-getting crankbait, which is what we all need at times, especially in those super tough tournaments. This is one of your best friends in those style of tournaments, but really subtle rattle to it. Circuit board lip, very durable. Just a great option for throwing around super shallow cover. Now with that said, the last one I want to talk about is a KVD 1.0. This is a little guy that I don't throw enough that I am going to make a promise to myself to throw this more this year. Especially around me, because this is like the perfect size of our bait up here. Whether that be shad or juvenile bluegill, just a phenomenal fish catching bait that I actually know guys have whooped my butt with up here on the Fox Chain of Lakes, but gotta give this one a try. Just your standard 1.5, but in a baby size. So those are really the 3 baits that I like to throw, and the only 3 that I keep in this category that I think I can go anywhere in the country with and get bit. So with that said, I'll jump into the rods here. Now for your two bigger baits here, or not bigger, but your 2 average sized square bill crankbaits that are really skinny running. These are about 3/8 to 1/2 ounce, so you're not going to have any problem throwing them on your square bill rod. As far as the rod that I like Mojo Bass by St. Croix. I love their cranking lineup of rods. Just phenomenal rods for the money. And the one that I started playing with this year is the KVD cranking rod from Lew's. This is the CC2. It's the square bill red eye shad, 7-foot medium power. It's a little bit stiffer than a medium, but not by much. So perfect for your square bill crankbaits. Just an awesome all around crankbait rod. As far as my reel goes, this is a Lew's BB1 Pro. Dude, go pick you up a Lew's Speed Spool, the $100 one. It's a fantastic reel, or go pick you up a Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier. Those things are awesome. As far as gear ratio goes, 6'3", 6'4", your 6s are just phenomenal gear ratios, because you can speed it up, slow it down. You don't have to wind the reel handle 1,000 times like your lower gear ratio reels. So yeah, for your standard ones, just your average square bill rod, great way to go. Now, with this little baby guy, you really can't throw this on that rod. You're gonna struggle. You can do it, it's not very easy. So what I recommend doing is either throwing it on a spinning rod or throwing it on your jerkbait rod. Now, this is a Mojo Bass 6'8" medium jerkbait rod, and this is actually a Pro Qualifier I was talking about. Awesome reel. $100. You can get them on the spring sale or whatever at Bass Pro for half price or something like that. So go pick you up a couple of these. Fantastic in your 6 gear ratio. As far as line size goes for these little guys, 10 to 12 pound test for the little baby 1.0 here. Perfect line size. For your bigger guys here, line size 14 pound test at a minimum. Now, I know most everybody uses 12 to 15 pound tests, but for this style of cranking, use 14 or 15 or 16 or 17. You're throwing it around shallow cover. You're not throwing this out in open water. This is going to get banged around on dock posts, all that stuff. Make sure you got enough power and enough line power to get that fish out of whatever he's in. So with that said, that is what I wanted to talk about today. So if you guys like this video, drop a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your buddies about it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.